Oh no, how did I die? What? Oh, good thing I respawned right here. But how did I die? I was at full health. Did you guys see that? Man, I better sleep. That's not good, because that means I gotta sacrifice an item now and lay to rest. Oh well. Oh, and it was over and oh, he's still alive. Oh, that's not good. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I thought he left. It says, is he still here? Go away. Why are you still here? I don't know what to do about this, because he's supposed to despawn. Alrighty, so... Oh! This is not good. This is not what I wanted. Shoot, I am actually gonna die again almost. Get me out of here. Okay. Froe here for another vanilla-ish Let's Play episode. I hope you guys are doing well. What you just saw, not now, but like the Wraith fight was a little bit of our stream in there. We ended up dying, unfortunately. And then we ended up dying 4 more times because we couldn't get our loot back. The Wraith was supposed to despawn, but he didn't for some reason. Eventually, though, I got my backup Elytra and I was able to fly away and get our stuff. So I already made our sacrifices, actually. I sacrificed the items on stream. So let's go ahead and check that out. Drop the items into the ground here. Right, and then it turns on the sacrificer. Boom, now our item is sacrificed, whatever pops out here, so it looks like it's the boots. So, it kind of stinks, like we lost them, but they weren't that great. So I guess it's not a big deal. We got to keep everything else. And actually, I sacrificed another item on top of that because we did die a couple of times, so I figured it'd be fair. And so our main goal this episode is going to be to lay those items to rest in the catacombs. Since they're not like super big deaths, we can keep them down underground, kind of hidden from view. And so let's get started with that. However, before we do that, I got a commenter, Bailey Boff, who asked, what is the best sword you can get in the RPG data pack? And that's a great question that I wish I knew the answer to. I think right now the best sword we have is the Craig's Messer of Dread, though I'm not sure if that's the best overall sword in the data pack. What makes it so strong is it gives you a little bit of armor boost, right? Like 1.5 armor. I want you to notice, right? Unequipped, equip it, you get that one little extra shield of armor, which is awesome. And then it also has 12.13 attack damage. And then also you can swing it pretty quickly. For those of you who play Bedrock, remember you can't spam click in Java. You notice down where my cursor is, we got that recharge of the sword. So you kind of have to time your attack a little bit. On top of that, though, this weapon here, I'm not even going to try to say it, though, is pretty good as well. You can swing it slightly quicker, right? And it also has looting 5, which is pretty awesome because you can't get that normally in Minecraft. All right, so let's take a look at the items we want to sacrifice this episode. Just for the record, these were death number 35 through 40, and it's from the Wraith boss battle. So let's put these guys to rest this episode at the very least. And then depending on how ambitious we get, we can do the rest of them together as well. And I kind of had a theme going where I used stained terracotta to build the catacombs itself. So I'm thinking, why don't we do that again with a bunch of different colors? But then on top of that, we can make some glazed terracotta. I think that'd be kind of cool to try out as well, because I've never actually really used those before in Minecraft. So it'd be fun to kind of try them out. Oh my gosh, that looks awesome. How have I never used this before? What do the other ones look like? So that's light blue that's making this. Ooh, I like that. I'm excited to try that out. Well, I got most of the materials that we're going to be using together. I want to try to build like a blackstone basalt kind of themed catacomb chamber as well. Got a bunch of different just terracottas and a couple concretes. And now we're just waiting on all of our glazed terracottas to kind of smelt up. It's taking quite a while. I'm thinking, you know, maybe an upgraded furnace smelter thing would be in order pretty soon here. Maybe that'll be a project we work on in the near future. I don't know. But yeah, while this finishes smelting up, let's kind of talk about the plan a little bit. So we know for sure we want to lay these two items to rest, and our catacombs are way over here. So I'm thinking we're going to build them. We're going to build one chamber for those two items, and then, you know, I'm thinking we could build a couple chambers that are all kind of the same general theme. Also, we need to build a better way to get into the catacombs than this. The general idea is to have the catacombs be like this kind of look, kind of like rough walls with orange and darkish colors, so that when we remove the lighting, it looks kind of, you know, a little bit cool down here and kind of mimics what ancient Roman catacombs kind of looked like. You know, and with Optifine, we could actually carry a torch down here and have it be pitch black almost. That actually might be really cool. I actually really like that idea. But anyway, so we have this main hallway. We got one branch kind of going that direction. I just started to dig out this one because I think, you know, it kind of felt like we needed another little branch going off. So we might want to fill this one in for today. Fill it up with like the orange walls and kind of rough it up a little bit. And we have this hallway over here. And the idea is to have a bunch of different little chambers where we actually lay the items to rest. So this hallway right now just kind of dead ends there. But it does have one chamber attached to it right here, which I was going for. I actually remember it is going for like an elven theme for this burial chamber, I guess. And this was death number 14 in episode 7. We died by a champion creeper. So, you know, this is kind of the general idea of what we're going for. Doesn't have to be super big or extravagant, little tiny rooms, but that's a good idea to go through and do them and add them up. And then this direction is that chamber that we saw a couple episodes ago. I think I'm going to build something like this, mimic this, maybe, you know, just down the way a little bit, maybe like right here even, right? And then lay the two items that we just lost this episode to rest. But instead of having, you know, the red terracotta, I'm thinking we could do like the glazed terracotta, or experiment with that a little bit. So that might be a good idea. So let's do some of the building on camera. First of all, the general rule is try to keep the pathways less than 3 blocks wide in general. So like right here, since it's a corner, it makes sense to widen it a little bit. Otherwise, it feels like you're taking a right turn too sharply. Another general rule is try to go for randomness and try to go for depth to some degree. So like right here, we have a little, I don't know, like just part of the wall like is dug out versus over here where it's nice and flat. So we probably want to dig this out just a little bit. Maybe do something like that. Fill this in with like orange terracotta and maybe a stair there, and heck, even do one there. Do something like this, something kind of weird. Doesn't have to be pretty or anything like that. We'll fill that in, plop orange terracotta back there. It's literally just kind of random. It doesn't have to make any sense. I don't like that. But it does need to look good. Let's put some sand down and maybe one piece like that. Yeah, that looks, you know, not bad. Just adds a little bit of depth to the overall catacombs. And the other thing I like to do is add in these little, this is where you'd put the bodies. So I don't know what you'd call them, I guess. But yeah, so the general rule is we come through and clear out the wall a little bit. I already have the ground laid down here, but that's pretty basic. You just place down some of the coarse dirt, yeah. And then now we pepper the wall with just details and orange terracotta, red sand, red sandstone, stuff like that. In fact, we should probably replace some of this red sandstone with just sand. Might look better. But I was thinking we want to have this branch continue off this direction, and then maybe another branch go over here, and have this one connect up with another tunnel somewhere along the way somehow. It's going to be pretty complex, but the idea is we want to get kind of lost in our catacombs. And if I ever make a world download or anything like that, then you guys could get lost in them too, which I think would be really fun. Oh yeah, and the other thing I do is just every once in a while throw in a brown mushroom block. Doesn't need to be super often, but the little bit of texture variance really helps. And also I forgot about the smooth sandstone, so let's throw that in a couple places too. Again, the little bit of texture just helps. When you're building a big project like this, since it's all the same theme, it's important that you just make it look decent. And it's the light amount of details coupled with the overall like grand size of the project that makes it cool, not like the actual build itself. Like obviously if you look at just one particular part of this, it's not that cool. But then when you look at it from a whole, it's actually a pretty cool little build here. And also look at this. We got like a little chamber that, so now we can branch off there and one going over there. All right, so we're getting to the point in the Catacomb project where we can start adding some details around. And I had an idea to make a couple banners. So we're going to use Minecraft Guy 75. We're going to use your Wither Skull from when we were choosing comments for the statues a little bit ago there. And I think this is how we do it. We just combine them with paper like this. Yeah, and so then we get a skull charge banner pattern. Try that out, and then a creeper one as well. Might be fun to try a little bit here. We already got a loom in our inventory, and then we just got a bunch of shulker boxes filled with decoration items. We're gonna try to place some flowers down because it is like a graveyard, and then some armor statues as well because I think that would look good in some spots. Just add a little bit more variation and coolness factor overall. And then I've been working really hard on expanding the tunnels. So let's take a look at those quickly. All right, so here is the main chamber. Right, we expanded that direction, so that whole tunnel is brand new. We're going to walk down there in a second. And then I also added another tunnel over here that I don't know if we're going to work on in this episode, but it just felt right to have a whole bunch of different branches here. In fact, I might add even another tunnel here that kind of branches backwards. I don't know, but it's cool just having a lot of different branches kind of coming off together here. And here's an example of just a little bit of details that I want to add to our catacombs here. Just a random mob head. We've sprinkled those in a couple places. Hold on, let me take my pants off. I move a little bit slower. All right, here's another example of just a mob head. As we kind of go through our new branch. Technically, we should have no torches down as we traverse through here. It's supposed to be pitch black, I guess. Or very little lighting because we have our Optifine lighting on. So this is kind of what it looks like. We got a potential chamber right here to bury an item. Another potential chamber or something. I don't know. I didn't finish it though, apparently. We got a stair. Every once in a while, little crevices and little shelves and places to put bodies. Got another little mob head. It might be cool to maybe replace this with an armor statue instead, for example, but we'll do that in a second. Oh, another little chamber here or somewhere to expand, I'm not sure. But yeah, as you kind of just continue through, the tunnels themselves are pretty repetitive. They all look kind of the same. And then this one's going to branch off that direction. And then also this one loops around and meets up here. And this is where the sandstone chambers are. So I'm thinking we're going to build one chamber there, one here, and then one over there, all in the sandstone themed. I think that would be neat. And then this tunnel just brings us, lighting, brings us all the way back up to the main center room here. So let's start decorating. We're going to just place some flowers in random spots. And I chose red and orange flowers because that way they don't pop out too much. Actually, this would be a good spot to put. Oops, I'm breaking things now. We're going to put these stairs upside down. Then we can put flower pots on top of them. I think that'd be neat. And then, yeah, red and orange so that they don't pop out too much. But we still get a little bit of a contrast, which I think is important. And we can just kind of place these randomly. Maybe another one here would be good. Actually, maybe a mob head would be good here. Something like that. We can place some armor statues in a couple places too. That might be a cool spot. Doesn't have to make any sense in any way. This is our catacombs. And the more details we can kind of snug in here, I think the cooler it'll be overall. So yeah, like this just adds just that little bit of decoration. Look at that. Makes this so much cooler overall. And so I'm going to kind of work on that throughout the entire area here. I also wanted to try throwing in like a random compost bin filled with just stuff. The dirt here. Yeah, I like that. I don't know, just adds a little bit more color and variation. Color and variation. I keep saying those words. Maybe we throw in a shelf here. Let's try to get a banner pattern together. So we're going to go for yellow background and then a red skull. I really like that. Okay, let's make a couple copies of that. Wait, how do we do that? Like this? And let's see if we can place those anywhere. Now, these are really going to pop, so we better be careful with where we place them. Where would be a good spot? I didn't put any thought into this. Right there. That's a great spot. Right at the entrance. And maybe one more. And maybe this would be a good spot too. Right at the entrance. Yeah, I like that. Just a little bit of detail. Probably add in a couple other banners spread around, but for now, let's move on to something else. And that something else is going to be laying our items to rest. So check this out. I got a room basically done. I want you to tell me what you think about it, though. So first of all, we got like a big hallway that kind of goes down underground. We're actually a little bit limited because the other chamber is right above us there. So coming down, you enter this like super bright blue room, which I really like how it turned out. I just noticed we got these diamonds that lined up perfectly right in the middle of the room overall. I like that. And then we got this weird orangey cyan colored wall thing with some banners. It doesn't really match the overall room, but I like it, so we're going to keep it for now. But I would really appreciate feedback on how to use these glazed terracotta blocks, because I have no idea. I've honestly never used them before. And we got a couple more banners, which I kind of like. That's the creeper design that we made earlier. And then another design choice I wanted to ask about is, should I have cyan concrete, right? I think that's cyan concrete below the spruce, or should I have like, you know, some kind of spruce color block? Because I like the fences here. They make sense to me because you're going down. I didn't want to just have a ledge. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And then also, should we have spruce fencing inside these little gaps, or should we leave them open and put plants there? Again, let me know. That would be really awesome. Little design choices like that take forever for me to figure out. So the more you guys could give me input, the better. And I have one half of this chamber kind of completed. So as we stroll on in here, we got deaths number 35 through 40, Death by the Wraith, episode 45/streaming. And these are our cerulean chitin pants or whatever. And I like how they're kind of floating. But we gotta lay to rest our diamond boots. Yeah, so the chambers are pretty basic though, right? Nothing super fancy. But I like how it turned out so far. Let's go ahead and do this one together though. So the way I did this is, I think, it's as simple as just laying that armor stand. We can plop the boots on there. We'll start by doing styles and show base plate off, right? And then go to nudge, and we want to nudge it to other direction. Okay. So we want to nudge it one that way. And then I think it's like -3, -3, and then a cut, like maybe even -3 one more time. Nope, that was over too much. Let's go up 1. Now I think it's centered between these two blocks, because you notice I got this 4x4 here. We want it kind of smack dab on the middle. And then we got to repeat that for the Z, or Z. Z if you're Etho. Couple more nudges to bring it all the way forward. Maybe just a little bit more. That looks pretty centered to me. Then what we do is we go to styles, apply gravity, nope. And then we go to nudge and we do the Y coordinate up a couple. Maybe up 8. Up a little bit more. A little bit more than that, actually. There we go. Make our armor stand invisible. Make our armor stand invisible. I think you have to be on like the same Y coordinate to be able to use this book or something like that. Stand invisible. And then let's change the presets too, so that it's lunging maybe. I like that. Cool. And there we go. We got our boots finally laid to rest. Except for the ceiling. I guess we got to finish that. It was pretty simple. I think we just did quartz. We did the fancy quartz, right? This one. And... uh-oh, we don't have any of those other ones. I just had it in one of the shulker boxes there. Actually, I got to mirror this properly. So last episode, I mentioned that I got a flat tire because of the cold. That kind of stunk. I got it all fixed up though. It wasn't a big deal, except for now my car won't start. And I'm hoping it's just the cold, but I'm pretty sure my starter's gone out for some reason. So I got to get that fixed now. It is now negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit around my area, so even colder than the last episode. Cool, so we got this project almost done, or at least these two items almost laid to rest. Not every chamber is going to be this extravagant. I just wanted to try something new with the glazed terracotta. And again, any feedback you could give me on the overall design of this room would be amazing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm really going out on a limb on this one. With that said, let's go ahead and just do one last little peruse of the catacombs here. So we extended this tunnel just a little bit that direction and built off this branch. Next step is just to decorate the walls, but that'll be pretty simple. I'll do that off camera. We added a bunch of more details this episode, which I'm very excited about because it was looking a little bit bland before. And we added this whole new tunnel, which like tripled the size of our old catacombs. And we put in a couple more spots to build new chambers into, so we'll probably do that off camera now that you've kind of get the gist of this project. I'll just give you like completed, like little updates every episode from now on. And I'm very excited about continuing this project. I'm glad that we decided to do that. Again, we're going to build a couple more catacomb chambers here, because otherwise, we just have all those items laying around and I don't really know what else to do with them. And I like the idea of continuing to sacrifice them as well. I think that's a fun idea overall. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and end the episode here, though. We're going to try to do it with some fresh air in our lungs instead of being way down underground. I'm surprised you guys haven't asked about this project. Have I even talked about it? I don't even remember. I know I have, but I don't know if I've included it in videos or not. It's going to be like a passive experience generator. So cactuses get harvested. And then they get thrown into here, and then they get thrown into the furnace, and then we gotta finish the system still, but in theory, we're supposed to get a bunch of EXP from just taking out the cactus, right? Because EXP will hold, it'll save its experience points. So every item you smelt will give you more experience, and then when you take it out, you get all of the total sum of all the items you smelted in there worth of EXP, so it's awesome. All right, look at that. The sun is rising. Perfect timing. You guys have a wonderful day. I really appreciate the feedback. Also, look at this. I've been grassing it up a lot more, so making a lot of progress there. That whole hill behind us is almost completely grassed up now. So thank you for watching. You guys have been really kind to me. You guys have a nice one. Stay safe, stay warm, eat lots of good food. Bye-bye.